Welcome to the Newsa-Cast YouTube channel. These Red Smith Banquet throwbacks are exclusive interviews of sports legends, powerful media personalities, and influential coaches. You won't find these anywhere else. Subscribe below and enjoy.
All right, Newsa-Cast listeners, welcome to the Red Smith Sports Awards Banquet throwback. We're having Dick Bennett. It was a fantastic year in 2002. Dick Bennett, the very successful coach in the state of Wisconsin. He inspired one of the all-time great shirts from the young college students at Madison. When he went to the Final Four and nobody knew who he was as a coach, they came up with the shirt that said, "You don't know Dick." It was fantastic.
It was, Tosh. And by the time you're done listening to this, you in fact will know Dick.
That is Dick Bennett.
Dick Bennett. Enjoy Dick Bennett at the 2002 Red Smith Sports Award Banquet at the Radisson Paper Valley Hotel.
Let's welcome Coach Bennett. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank Tony for not including the Michigan State games that year. Judge, thank you for your marvelous introduction. What a thrill. What a thrill just to be associated with people who have won this award, people at this head table, far more than ever dreamed of or expected or really deserved. I want to thank the committee for considering me, much less naming me. Mike Reese, as was mentioned, was my college roommate. And he said to me, "Bennett, stick with me and I'll take care of you." I thought that meant if I needed a good buy on a fire truck. I don't know, Mike, if everyone's going to agree with your influence on this one, but they're probably Marquette fans anyhow. I couldn't thank a committee without thinking of Danny Ornstein. Those of us who knew him, and many of you knew him much better than I, will always hold a forever green memory of Danny. You know, there have been so many who have helped me as I began to think of possibly naming people. I realized if I did that, it would be unfair to the countless ones I would miss. But I think all of us need someone to affirm us at various times of our lives. They need to fan the flame, if there is one there, maybe to light it, but never to douse it. And I've had so many of those people in this wonderful state, and particularly in this wonderful region. Many of them were players who were always good people. I had a habit of choosing Wisconsin people when I recruited because I knew they would seldom let you down. There were so many who taught me. A number of them are here. My former coaches, people who hired me, who, as I said, fanned that flame of desire always, made me feel special, made me feel like I could indeed do something. I was never long on confidence. If you thought so, it was just bravado. It was just game face. But there were so many who were so good to make sure I felt good about what I was doing. And those people need to know they're always in my thoughts. Then there's my family, in particular my wife, who for 36 years made sacrifices, all through the high school years, 5 different high schools, 3 different universities, never really making a lot of money until the last year or two when the bonuses started to come in. Of course, I quit then, which was a very... She does remind me of that. She raised the kids. I was too on fire for my job. I needed to be at clinics. I needed to work camps. I needed to be sitting at the footsteps of the so-called masters. I needed to learn. I was hungry. I was like a sponge, and she took care of everything at home. I wish I had been a better father, but she basically raised those kids. I have remained thankful to this day that I was led into the coaching field, because there is, in my opinion, no better classroom than the sports arena. I mean, when you think about what really matters, you think about stuff like teamwork and second effort and accepting roles and coming back tough and accepting defeat and winning humbly. Those are the things that matter. And in academic classrooms, you can write them on the board and you can define them. But in the sports arena, you have to live them. And the privilege of coaching is that you teach that stuff every day in the most exciting atmosphere that is possible. I miss that perhaps more than anything else, perhaps next to the association with the young men. And finally, some will think it's maybe inappropriate, maybe contrived, artificial. But I am convinced of the hand of God in my profession. I knew I was limited intellectually, athletically. I knew that there were only so many things I could do. And yet, I dreamed. It was not a goal. They were not objectives. They were beyond that. I had several dreams. And all of them required me to stay in the state. I never wanted to leave Wisconsin. I thought I would be out of my league. I never anticipated really going beyond the small college level. I didn't really want to. And I knew, even when opportunities came along, that I did not want to leave this state. But I dreamt anyhow. I dreamt of coaching at Wisconsin to end my career. I never wanted to fool with the pro level. The pros have the great players in basketball, but collegiately, I always felt we had the game. And I never wanted to go beyond that. And I didn't want to go anywhere but Wisconsin. And I was ready to retire at Green Bay, and Pat Richter fanned that flame. And I said I could give him 5 years. And I got carried away, and I gave him 5 years and 3 games. I so dreamt of my son getting a chance to play in the NBA. I thought if he worked, if he approached it properly, if he did things the right way, stayed tough mentally, he would get that chance. And he did for 3 years. His injuries cut his career short. And finally, I dreamed that I someday so desperately wanted to coach in a Final Four. There is nothing more exciting in the mind of a college basketball coach than being a part of the Final Four. And it took the last year of my career, but it happened. As I thought, had I known the dreams would come true, I would have dreamt of winning a Final Four. And so all along, I felt the hand of God guiding me, a guy who knew his limitations, who never gave me more than I could handle at one time, who kept me where I was safe and gave me a chance to touch the divine. I thank you. I am so thrilled to be able to accept this award in northeastern Wisconsin, where I made my home, where I coached most of my career, and where most of my friends are. Thank you so very much.
Please subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we post another great episode or interview. Download the podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for your support.